Immigration lawyer John Khosravi coming to you live from Los Angeles, California for our weekly session where we go over U.S.-based education, U.S.-based immigration education about U.S. immigration laws and coming here and all the complexity that's involved in that process. I'm an immigration attorney. I have a law firm in Los Angeles, California. We have lawyers from across the world that help us, and it makes it a real fun experience to help everybody go through their process of U.S. immigration. The email is info@jqqlaw.com. And the website's jqqlaw.com. If you're interested in learning about marriage-based immigration, a lot of you have those kind of cases. Download the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide at marriageimmigrationlaw.com. That's marriageimmigrationlaw.com. It's 40 plus pages of content and information to give you an idea what's going on in the process. I got to get some more information to update that. But we have videos on each chapter in the book. So you read it, you can watch it, you get everything you need, and then you give us a call and schedule a consultation. Abdul Wahab, good evening to you too as well. Thanks for coming in. We're live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're everywhere. Coming live at you to answer your questions every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern. This wonderful world of ours where people from across the world have come in to engage and ask questions, get to know what's going on in this wild immigration system. Okay. So, it always gets asked, the first thing is, how long are things taking? They're taking forever. Some are getting better, especially if you are from Pakistan. There was a whole situation there where things were just not moving forward. And it seems like something's happening where the embassies are beginning to do interviews. Might have been waiting more than a year. But even then, it's still not bad for how bad things have been backed up in that embassy. And we're seeing things move forward and people getting their visa interviews. So that's a godsend that's happening there because it's very difficult to have. Sukti, hi to you as well. Good to catch up with you. Let me see what's going on with this system. Usually have 10,000 questions at this point. But I'll just talk about some immigration stuff until things start popping up and start working out. So, employment-based immigration is a major issue. If you are looking for a case of, extraordinary ability, you have an employer here, maybe the national interest waiver. Although the Biden administration has increased opportunities for people looking to do what's called the national interest waiver, which is people who have, some skill that they've obtained in life that's very successful. It could be a lot of different things, as wide as you could think of. And they're going to continue and develop that in the United States. And it's a very special visa. For example, we've helped cancer researchers come here, or neuroscientists get this visa to come here. All sorts of different jobs, but STEM in particular, people in science, technology, it's not economics, STEM, we forgot the E is for, but and math are able to, come here with their PhDs and stuff and do some big stuff and get the green card. So that's really the thing. But there's delays to finalize the case. There's just a big line. So that's what's made it kind of terrible in the second absence, because it just takes forever to get the family here together with you too. Andrew asked, my VAWA approved last month. When do I get I-485? I don't know either, brother. I wish you the best though. Abdul Wahab says, boss, I have a question. I just filed my DS-160. That's the form for a tourist visa, non-immigrant visa. But I made a mistake in my form, which I've already paid the visa fee and booked an appointment. Well, it's not good. It depends on what you said, but you can always fill out another DS-160 and bring the receipt for that. So when you go to the interview and say, hey, this is an error, this is what it is. But also, if you don't want to pay that fee, that's pretty much what they want to do. But just go to the interview and make the correction as soon as possible. If the mistake is really bad, like that you need to fix ASAP, then just cancel that appointment, get a new one, or just call them up. I'm not really sure because I don't know what the mistake is. But some of the mistakes, if they're benign, like your second phone number's off by one digit, I wouldn't care. But I don't know what the mistake it is, how bad it is. And depending on how bad it is, it means how much work you want to put into it. Because sometimes getting a hold of an embassy is so hard. It can take like hours of work trying to figure out how to contact them or to fix it, or it costs you more money. So it really depends on the level of severity. In my professional belief, I have to know about it to see what's going on. The error was because some errors might be considered misrepresentation, or there's a button that asks you, are you going to come and kill people here? So obviously you're not going to do that. We said yes. There's no question like that. There's questions about sometimes have you committed genocide and stuff like that, generalized stuff. But if you said yes to that, yeah, we'd want to fix that in there definitely. But other ones, if it's forgot a social media handle, it's like not that important. Depends on how big important it is, and how, depending on how important of it, that depends on how much you want to pay or spend time to fix it. So you could just do nothing if it's not a big deal. How long does it take for a DS-260 visa? I think you meant for your immigrant visa interview after your DS-260 is submitted and it's the paperwork with it approved. It depends on the embassy. It could be 2 months. It could be 30, 40 years, or in what kind of case you have. So Vanessa Waters, like you have to be very specific in what kind of case you have, which embassy it is. And even then, I don't know each embassy exactly how much they're going to take processing time. So there's not enough information in your question to be able to answer it. But even if I had more information, there's limitations to the answer I could have. Richard says, I received an RFE for my I-485 adjustment of status. Do you think my work permit backlog has something to do with that? No. Is adjustment of status my citizen wife? Thank you. Yeah, that's just the luck of the draw when it comes to the work permit and when you're going to get that. All right, we got everything kicked in. We got a million questions on TikTok, so let's get it started. Hi, asylum pending. I don't do asylum court hearings. Kelly can help you with that. Kayla says, please, how long will it take for my USCIS to prove my I-485? I don't know. I don't think they know. I don't definitely don't know. Sukdeep says, am I eligible for LPR status after staying in the US 10 years? No, that's a misnomer. Very specific situations where you could do that, but by itself, not at all. Tara says, M400, I filed outside USA 548 days instead of 530 application. I don't know what your question says, 2K specific, but your question is not clear to me at all. Emmy said, hi, do you have any idea about P1 and B2? Much appreciated. P1 and B2 are special visas. A lot of times tour groups and stuff like that use that. But it's just too general a question. You've been more specific. And if you're looking for a P, you probably should have a private consultation to see what's going on in your case. LinkedIn user says, hello, John, this is Zahraz. I want to talk to you about a serious workplace harassment I faced. Thank you for your message. However, I'm an immigration lawyer. I don't handle employment-based harassment or employment law or anything like that, so I wouldn't be able to help you. Twinkle says, I want a visitor visa. Can I adjust status? I'm married to an LPR. To be able to file for adjustment of status, I'm married to an LPR. Your case preference category has to be current. Right now, for your F2A, it's not. So you potentially may be able to, but it depends on how much more time you have on your visitor visa. So Twinkle, I need to know how much more time there is when you enter it, if it's appropriate or not. And also background to see if you intended to come here and stay here and apply for a green card, because they can ask you about that. So we need to know what your intent was and how it happened that you have to stay. So we have to have that discussion. And then how much time is left on your case, because you'll need to submit an I-130 petition and then wait for the ability to file for adjustment of status. So there's a lot of technical stuff that needs to be, got together for that, but that's that. Vanessa Waters falls out, apply for Miles green card. She's in Brazil. So if the National Visa Center accept your case in Brazil, between 6 to 18 months, you're going to have an immigrant visa interview. Wildmar says, I came to USA in 2000 with a tourist visa, overstayed for 4 years. My daughter's born in 2022. We went back to our home country for 5 months, came back with a new visa. I don't know how you did that, because you were subject or stayed 20 years. Okay, so if you left the United States in 2004 and it's been 16, 18 years, then you're no longer subject to a 10-year ban. But you got to mention your DS-160 that you had that. But you follow up, lawyers are refusing to take my case because they think I did something fraudulent. Yeah, it's for you to be able to get a visa of a 10-year bar. It's not necessarily fraudulent. Weimar, we have to do what's called a Freedom of Information Act request, the FOIA request, to look at your DS-160 that you submitted when you got the new visa to come here, to see what was said in there, to make sure there's no fraud. Because usually they won't issue a new visa to someone who overstayed. It's not impossible. I've seen it before, so I can't say it's fraud or not. I just got to check the paperwork for myself. So I'd start with the FOIA request, get your DS-160. Hopefully it's available. Who knows, it will be. See what you said there and corroborate that, what you talked with the embassy. We'll have a consultation, look at it, and then that. But if your daughter's near 21, it may be a chance. But we need more information about your case. So schedule a consultation so we see what happened. We'd have to do that FOIA request probably. Okay, Sardust. Okay, we got questions about how does Afghan family reunification work. I don't handle the Afghan cases, so I don't know. But I just recommend contacting other lawyers that do. Abdullah says, boss, my internet was given problems. Can you answer questions I sent you? Abdullah, I had a very long discussion about your question. You just have to catch the video on that one because I spent like a couple minutes on. Lily said, hi, John. Are marriage petition approved interviews abroad? No, there's always an embassy interview for green card cases. So at least so far, if you're abroad. Sadat says, I'm a Canadian citizen. How can I immigrate to Canada by job offer? How can I get job offer? You're a Canadian citizen and you want to immigrate to Canada. I don't understand the question, but I don't have any information on finding employment. That's not my specialty, so I don't have any guidance on that. All right, so user 7 says, my I-485 is stuck in case approved weeks now. So I'll receive my green card. Call up USCIS, see if they mailed it and if they have a tracking number. SI says, hi, my girlfriend came on an F1 visa to the U.S., but she wasn't in school last semester and her ... I don't have the rest. Have your girlfriend contact the office for consultation. Lazer says, I travel with my advance parole and come back. Does it count legal? Can I adjust afterward? depends on what your basis for adjustment of status is. So maybe not. Depends on what your basis, how you're going to adjustment of status means apply for a green card, but based on what? So there's always the adjustment of status on I-485 saying I'm going to apply for a green card, but you have to have some basis, which is another form, an I-130, an I-140, an I-589 that's approved. I think that's the asylum. Or you have to have other things ready to go with that. So without knowing that, I can't answer that question. Furry Shark says, did you hear anything about BIA fraud marriage decision? Not anything recent. I usually get emails on that. There was one from like 2 years ago, I think. Salty says, there was some BI fraud thing. I can't remember what it was right now. Salty says, can a green card holder eligible to fill her biological children under 21? Please. Can a green card holder apply for children under 21? Yes, they can. It's the F2A category. Tomorrow, I have interview. Any suggestions? No, not really. Good luck. That's what I'd say. I don't know anything about your case. I can't suggest anything. Angela says, I have an F1 visa, but I passed my board exam as a nurse. I want to file for a green card. Can you help? Well, it depends on if you need to either have an employer or if you're going to do some national interest waiver, you have to have some achievement. I need to know more to see if anything is possible on you. So you have to schedule a consultation with the office. Okay, SIMG follows up about this F1 cancellation. I don't know. I have to see why the visa is canceled and try reinstatement or something like that. We got to see why the visa was canceled. This is my main. What happened if I overstay my J1 student work in a travel visa? It's not good. You're out of status. They can pick you up, and that's that. Sorry, follows up. Sorry, USA. Yeah, so I just got to apply for jobs. I don't have guidance on job finding. Oh, we have some questions on YouTube. Hustle Squad says, I recently submitted my I-765 form for OPT online. There at the very end in the signature section, they asked to provide the digital signature by typing with a legal name. I typed in my surname, last name, formatted in Asian. It doesn't matter the format. I just got to type something that's there in your name, essentially. Do you need to disclose car accident? I was not arrested or cited. Well, it depends if you're DUI involved or something like that. But as long as, if you got a car accident itself, unless you did some criminal activity, it doesn't matter. Okay. Travel says, is this the truth? If I travel with AP and my I-485 F2A will be denied while travel, I will not be able to. No, if you have advanced parole, they won't deny your adjustment of status. The whole point of adjustment of advanced parole is to save adjustment of status. Abdul, I already answered that question. So definitely just catch the recording. It's on YouTube and you catch it there. Okay. So, let's go a lot of repeat questions right now. What do you think of Brown's immigration in Cleveland? I don't know Brown's immigration in Cleveland. Can I apply for citizenship on I-751? Yeah, if you have proper standing, like you're married and living with a U.S. citizen for the last 3 years, or some of the exceptions to that. Safu says, can a green card? We already answered that. Georgia says, arrived on SB1 visa. Any issues with LPR abandonment? If you got the SB1, unlikely. Oro says, about Addis Ababa MVCDQ, that's going to take forever. I-130 is pending. I have a visitor visa. Can I visit back and forth between class? You can, but every time you come and go, it's up to the border officer how strict they want to be. But it's definitely legal and people do it. But I just can't guarantee it because the decision to let you back in on a tourist visa, we have a marriage case pending. It's always going to be in some random person's hands, so it's kind of annoying. Snipe says, tomorrow I have marriage interview. Any suggestions? You just, hug and love your spouse. MC says, how much would it cost for marriage green card and total including lawyer's fees? $1 billion. It depends on what kind of case you have. Are you a citizen or a green card holder? Or is it a fiance case? Are you doing adjustment of status or consular processing? Do you have inadmissibility issues that need waivers or not? Do we have to do FOIA requests? Do you need someone to come with the interview? Is your birth certificate proper or does it have issues or we need other situations with it? How much evidence of relationship do you have? Do you have like a bunch, like you have 5 kids together, make a case easy? Or do we need to develop more evidence and see what's going on in your life and flesh it out and have personal statements? Do we need letters from family and friends or not? So it just keeps going. So when someone asks how much it is, well, it depends on what you have. Now, I could just charge a lot for everybody, but I don't want to be unfair like that. So I like to analyze each case during consultation and give exactly what you need instead of charging like the maximum because we don't know. You may need some more stuff later. So that's the way we do our office. We try to make it good for you guys. And that's why question about how much things cost is hard to say, and that's why you need to have a consultation. Let's see. Furry Shark. We answered a lot of repeat questions. All right, I'm gonna go to the newest question on TikTok. A bazillion repeat questions going on. May Sam says, can I apply for a K3 visa for my husband abroad even when I have a marriage certificate? If you have an I-130 pending and you're a citizen, you can file for the K3. Rihanna says, it's been 10 months. I have my pass. my silent interview, but I didn't get the results yet. I'm sorry to hear that, but we got to wait unless you want to sue them for a decision. Tony says, my parents have a business and pay taxes, but they enter illegally. Can they get a green card? I don't know. They have to find some sort of exception. And Ismail says, I'm married and have 5 kids under 9 years old. What do I need to apply for a green card? What do I need to do to apply for a green card? I don't know. That's not enough information. Like you have it. It's not so generalized. I have to see what's going on in your case. Schedule a consultation. That's what you got to do. The first step to see what's going on. Curtis says, my girlfriend had her I-120 canceled October simply because she wasn't in school this semester. Yeah, she was supposed to take a break, a form at the school. She, however, needs to go to UK in December, family members, so she overstayed then. How can I help her as an American citizen without having issues with coming back? She needs, unless you're going to, there's nothing you do as an American citizen. She needs to handle her stuff and maybe refile for a new visa. I don't know. I can't guide you here, but there's nothing you can do. It's something that she has to take care of. Brenda says, my husband's in Mexico. I filed I-130K3, but I haven't got updated. Filed 5 months ago. Yeah, just got to wait. It takes a long time. Cindy says, how long does it take to get a green card with marriage? Depends on all the factors I talked about recently. It could be 3 months. It could be 15 years. It just depends. Rihanna says, it's been 10 months. Okay, I answered that question. Quickest way to citizenship from F1. It's not realistic. Not a realistic question. Jada says, H-2B visa extension. Can I travel outside the U.S.? What's the process? If you have a visa and you could travel and come back with it. So if you don't have a visa, you have to need to get one. And, it's that. On IR1, you can pay for the green card fee before or after spouses stateside. You should pay for the fee after you get the immigrant visa before entering the United States. That's what they always say. I'm not sure if it makes a difference, but government says that. Since our DACA still being processed, only extending existing DACA cases, no new ones. How long is MVC scheduling interview visa in Islamabad embassy? Right now, it's probably a year and a half. Silas says, I have an I-130 pending for 15 months for my spouse. How long does it take? Probably in a month or two, you'll hear something. If you're a citizen. Philip says, how long does VAWA case take? I don't do VAWA in my office. I'm not sure my another attorney office does that. Brian Manning, thank you so much for your nice words. Yasmin says, expired green card outside the U.S. for 3 years. Get a private consultation. I got to talk to you about it in private. Sedgy says, did the food stamp benefit can't deny any sponsor? Maybe if you have money, can't deny any. I'm not sure what deny any sponsor means. Travel with Meta says, my I-485 F2A in the U.S. November 2021. I-130 approved. Other ways to expedite or no way? If you're F2A, you got to wait for the F2A to be current. That's about it. Donna says, good night to you too. Brenda, planning on having a baby. Can my husband apply for emergency visa to be here for the birth? You can apply, but who knows if the embassy is going to approve it. How long does an active reviewing on I-485 take? It varies. How long does, I answered that. I sent an RFE for a green card based marriage. It's been 7 months, no response. Is that normal? There's no normal in immigration. So they might just approve it all of a sudden. Who knows? It's immigration. That's one of the consistencies about immigration. That a lot of times when people are coming to deal from foreign countries, there's millions and millions of people dealing with the U.S. immigration system. And, through Hollywood and through history, what America was in the 19s and 50s and 60s when we had good manufacturing, and it was a very strong country and the people were much stronger. A global spell was cast upon the citizens of the world, where they had a lot of faith in the U.S. and the U.S. government in particular to be able to be efficient and do stuff. But when you get involved in immigration, that's usually the first thing that foreign nationals deal with when they deal with the American government. The very first actual intercount, unless America's invading your country and you have like a soldier above you. The other aspect of it is you're dealing with the U.S. immigration bureaucracy, which is Department of State, Department of Homeland Security, and under that USCIS, CBP, all these different agencies. And they always expect things to be like, this is America. They're at the top, and this is the government of America. We have all these high precision weapons and all this kind of stuff, and the internet came from here. And then they expect it to be like, okay, 3 months are gone, 12 months. The system is absolutely not efficient like that. And any imagination you have about how efficient the government was and a positive, you can expect the opposite of that in reality of what the immigration processing system is. And it becomes very, very frustrating on me in particular because I have hundreds of families at any given time that rely on my work. And I feel the pain of all these people at once. Like, it's like, damn, I'm from Pakistan. My wife's there. And it's been 3 years. And we want to have kids, but we can't do that. My wife's education's on hold because she wants to finish her studies in the U.S. And nothing is moving because I'm from Pakistan or from Iran. or issues with all these other countries. And it's very frustrating. I mean, there's the whole COVID-19 situation that happened. The pandemic shut things down. There was a previous administration. But this is a long-term thing. I mean, the numbers are just vast, the people coming here, and the support politically and stuff for giving money to it or any attention is very low. So it's very frustrating. I hear you, but these timelines are just out of control. And we try different ways to try to make it better. I've done videos telling people how to do expedites and stuff like that on their own, which kind of had a double-edged sword, because the more videos immigration lawyers do telling you how to, the secrets are to get things done faster, the less practical they become, because the government's like, oh, everyone's doing this now. We're just going to prevent this from happening, not move forward. So, but you do what you got to do. And it's just one of those things about the life. But these timelines of people, is that normal or not? I've at this point, after done this, have been doing this for more than 10 years, there's like no normal when it comes to immigration. I've seen the wildest stuff happen in this game. Immigration is just, it's a wild, wild west. And I've seen all sorts of things happen. Cases being approved in one day, and a case that should be approved in a month take 3 years for no reason. We just get approved all of a sudden because they dropped the ball. Because you're dealing with people at the end of the day. That technology is not very sophisticated yet. If it is, I'm sure they'll mess that up. But you're dealing with people that have lives and massive amounts of paperwork come in. So that long rant really just goes to what's normal waiting and harvest. There's no timelines. There's no deadlines. The only thing that stops them sometimes from taking so long is filing lawsuits against the government. And then that may scare them or force them to do something like that. But most people don't want to pay for filing a lawsuit or have their name involved in a lawsuit against the U.S. government. So what ends up happening is just this, people get bad service. They pay a lot of money. Put aside the attorney fee. They're talking about the government fees. And they go in line and they go somewhere. And a lot of times people are nice, and sometimes they're horribly bad attitudes with you. But most times, thankfully, my interactions with USCIS, I would say like 9 out of 10 times is A plus. I have some really good people at CBP and the border and stuff, really good people. But when you get that one person, that position of power, is just awful. It really takes your hope out of humanity. But thankfully, there's a lot of good people here. I have a lot of good colleagues and a lot of just coworkers they have there I talk with at anywhere from the security at the front gate to the top that I've met that are really good at the immigration department, the various agencies. I've done dozens of interviews with like former consular officers, my other podcast. So I don't know. It's a long rant I want to put out there because I just felt like talking about it. It is what it is. But let's get back to your questions. Albato says, this guy doesn't know anything, LOL. You're right, Albato. You're exactly right. How long after package send NBC for response? So when you submit a package by mail, that's an old school way. I'm not really sure how it's going to happen because it's just the old school method is dying out. You'll probably get a month or two. If it's online, recently it's been like, I don't know, like really fast, like a week. But even if it goes 6 weeks, 8 weeks, it's not abnormal. I mean, we just have a bunch of questions about timelines. And that's why I really got into all that. Saifi2 says, I'm married to a U.S. citizen. I have my card. Am I eligible to file for my children are 21, please? You don't want to file for your children. If you're married to your wife before your children were 18, you want your wife to file for it, or husband. I'm not sure. Sorry. Whoever gender is, I'm sorry. But you want the U.S. citizen to file because then it'll be an immediate relative case. It'll be faster. If you have a green card and you file, that's F2A. And right now there's like a 4-year backlog on that. And judging by your name, you're probably at an embassy that's going to have like an extra year or two backlog for processing. So you definitely don't want to go down a route that's going to cause massive amount of wait time. If you're married to your spouse before the children are 18, they could be a petition for as stepchildren if they're still under 21 by the U.S. citizen spouse. That would be the go in most cases. The way to go in most cases. Thank you, Anmir Combs. Antikawar says, I'm on H-1B visa. How long can I work from outside the United States, get paid without any issue? I don't know. I don't handle H-1Bs in my office. Sorry. Can a U.S. citizen be a sponsor? Yes. A sponsor for what, though? But generally for IA-64, yes. But we need to know more about what you're trying to do. And okay, we have 5 minutes. Let's see. I'm getting some notes from my team. Let me look at that really quick. Everything okay? Oh, yeah. Sorry. What are the requirements to be a sponsor? You got to be very specific what kind of sponsor you're talking about. Ivan says, hello, I'm currently under a TN. I have been working on a TN for the last 8 years. Can I apply for a green card? I mean, maybe. What kind of work are you doing? Maybe you do a national interest waiver. Maybe the employer wants to file for you. Maybe you have extraordinary ability. I was going to say maybe do asylum. But if you're on a TN, you're probably not going to have asylum issue. It just depends. You need to find an independent route for a green card. K-Pat says, is there any way for green card for a DACA nurse through employer or anything like that? I mean, the start of it is, but eventually you have to do an embassy interview, and then that leads to issues regarding previous violations and stuff. It could be problematic. So we have to see what's going on with the case, but it's tough. You have to do certain things. Does immigration check your background when you're under 18? They can check any background they want. I'll put it that way. I had an interview. I thought they're going to ask for a 601 waiver, but they have me on 221G refusal for 15 days. Sometimes, I don't know. I don't know your case. I don't want to answer. It's too much places I can go to with that. User trying to say I need to be out of the country for more than 6 months, but less than a year for school help. Apply for a reentry permit from I-131, or just have multiple visits to the United States in the meantime and kind of maintain a house here or a family here. Dora says, you just got to USA on IR1. How long before I get my green card? 3 months to a year, or may get lost in the process. Sashi says, married to a U.S. citizen. How long after medical RFE can we hear for green card decision? There's no timeline there. K-Bass says, we already answered that. Test Tufo says, hello, I didn't get a decision for 5 months after naturalization interview at Penny I-751. If you try suing them, but I don't know. It doesn't look good. I'd have to see what's going on with the case. My dad did a petition for my sister in August 2019. My sister are over 21, but they are not married. So they're going to be either F1 if your dad's a citizen, or F2B if your dad's a green card holder. And those are going to take a lot more years than that. So it's going to be a while till that works out. If your dad's a green card holder and your sisters get married, the case gets canceled out. All right, let's answer a couple more. How much time has it been? Let's a couple more questions and we go. A lot of repeat questions again. Okay, let's see. Scroll. Sanam says, for I-24, it's been 1 year now. I didn't hear anything. Is there anything that can be done? You try calling them. They're going to tell you it's within regular processing time. But sometimes if you're really annoying and keep bothering them, it might do something. Let's see. Just too full. Do I still have a chance to get back into the country just to visit if I was deported 30 years ago? You could get waivers, but it's kind of, you got to really want to come back to spend the money and time to get a waiver, but it's not impossible. There is a waiver for it, for visiting. Does divorce after citizenship through marriage can affect my status? Does divorce after citizenship, if we got citizenship at this point, unless there's some massive fraud going on, doesn't matter. Mandy says, should I file Form I-612 together with the green card application, married to U.S. citizen and came with the J-1? It's up to you. You could. That's just a preference. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. It just depends on if you have the medical or not, how much of a rush you are doing it. The doctor didn't make any typos or errors on it that we got checked. So it's up to you. Harold says, I filed single for tax because my wife doesn't have Social Security rights in when I filed. It's probably not going to be a big deal, but you should have filed in a way that reflected that you're married. They could hassle you. I've never seen it hassled, but I'm always paranoid about the government, so you never know. User 79 says, can you please answer my question about the 221G 15 days hold for serious? It's up to the government. They probably, I don't know. I need more information, see what happened, and they might have just messed up. I don't know. It's too deep. I got to get into your case. Isabel says, can my husband sponsor me to get a green card? What are the requirements? Well, Isabel, now that you're more specific with your question, I can answer. You go download my guide. I have a 40-page guide on this. Go to marriageimmigrationlaw.com. And it gives you the basics, then schedule a consultation because we got to go into your background and see if it's possible. Shani says, what is the request for evidence for marriage? It's requests for evidence for some reason. Read the notice they gave you. It'll tell you. Can you assist in a waiver? Yes, we have team members do waivers. So just contact us for a 601 waiver or 212 waiver, something like that. This says, can I overstay my J1 work visa and travel visa? Can you physically overstay? Yeah, a gazillion people do that. I mean, but it is what it is. I mean, they could come and kick you out too, or take you to court to kick you out. It is what it is. Do you take pending cases? I try not to, frankly, unless I started a case myself. But we can have a consultation. I can look over it. I can make a decision whether to accept it or see how far deep it is. But generally, I do like to start the case from the beginning myself. Getting other people's stuff always causes problems, but just depends. Schedule consultation, we'll look over docs and see what's going on. Only Plus says, can a green card holder sponsor spouse in USA? It's possible. Tutu says, my husband and I got married like 6 years ago when he was a green card holder. Can I file for naturalization? I don't know. I need more information about your case to be able to answer that. Does divorce during student visa affect green card application now? She never got the visa. I don't know. Probably not, but I need to know more information on what's going on there. My dad got citizenship after 3 months. Then they will convert my sister petition I-130 F1 automatic. It will be automatic, but you don't have to automatically do it. You can sometimes keep an F2B if the timelines for F2B are better. Ali says, U.S. citizen spouse divorced me and second DUI affect my citizenship. You can, yeah. Trump had changed, updated to make it more harsh on DUIs, but it could affect the ability to get citizenship. It's discretionary. User 12 says, if I didn't file taxes on 2019 because of zero income, will I have issues or naturalization? Not necessarily if it was honest, if you just properly couldn't file it. Inco says, how do I contact your team? Email us at info@jqqlaw.com and briefly describe the immigration issue that you have. Info@jqqlaw.com. Take 2 more questions. We'll call it a day. DL says, I-130 countdown twice and went back to estimated process. Don't pay attention to process timelines. They're all inconsistent. Seb, as talks about applying for immigration. Applying for asylum. I don't do asylum. And then another question, last question I can answer is, what is the best proof of marriage to send to immigration? 5 birth certificates listing you and your spouse as the parents. And with that one, God bless you, everyone. Be safe. I'll catch you all next Tuesday. I'm immigration lawyer John Castravi, here every 5 p.m. Pacific on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Not on Twitter. I do post there about the videos. And TikTok. There was a T in there. But thank you, everyone, for joining. God bless you. Be safe. And hopefully I helped a little bit and just made the world a better place. Bye-bye. I feel the most. Like 100 people, like I'm seeing this, like I'm not like a second.